Good morning, and we are back. It's 8:30 a.m. and we're just talking about stupid shit. And the shit that we're talking about is, the traffic lights and the fucking where they got drones out catching people and stuff. And Jen was saying that they got drones now for crowd control that are spraying you with pepper spray.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, for the high schools. Yeah.
Not a bad idea though, if it gets out of control, because we were talking not too long ago about how these people, the cops would try to arrest them, and they were shooting artillery shells and all kinds of shit at them. They need something. I'm surprised they didn't do tear gas.
What gets me is what happened to the school system, because when I went to school, we didn't have any of these issues. Now you either have a clear backpack or no backpack at all. You have to go through security.
Metal detectors.
Exactly, yeah. And then there's a police officer on the grounds at lunchtime. What the hell is going on? What changed? What shifted from, the 90s and me going to school to now? What? Because I know they have the same freaking problems, except for cell phones and iPads. So what shifted?
Back then you only had a few problem kids, that you always knew they were always in focus or something in school suspension.
Yeah.
When I went to school in Bourbon, Missouri, all the rednecks had their guns in the back of their truck on the little, the things that used to hang up in the window.
Yeah, the gun rack.
That was all. Everyone had those in the parking lot there. Now it's like, can't have none of that.
Oh, hell no.
Crazy how times have changed, It's crazy.
But what shifted it, though? When did this shift happen? When did this time shift happen? And why did it happen? Is it because, people are having kids younger ages or older ages, or is it their environment, or
the parents aren't supervising them? They're busy. It's either like you have single moms or single dads, with the kids, and they're working all the time, and they're not keeping an eye on the kids.
Not disciplining them,
Yeah. They're not around because they're
it's
gone.
hard to discipline your kids now these days because
they'll call the authorities on you. You didn't feed me today.
Exactly. So again, I'm just trying to figure out where this shift happened. Who instilled in their brains that if you act this way, that this happens? It's like there's no consequence at all.
No.
And everybody's a winner, and everybody plays the victim.
And the parents are the ones that, yeah.
It's not balanced. So it's like we're tipped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. And I visited my high school. I had my high school reunion. There are no books in the library because they all have Chromebooks. They have a fucking
computer.
coffee shop in there. And I guess what they do now is they want everybody to do more vocational. So they want all the juniors and seniors to do some kind of vocational work, like do an internship, before they can graduate. So some of them do wood making. They actually make picnic tables and sheds and stuff like that for the blocks. They also have a greenhouse where they grow and sell vegetables. They have a cricket where they sell the school merch. But if you don't have the school jobs, then you have to go out and get an internship so you can graduate. I think that is bull hockey. Yes, I do believe that everyone should have some kind of work skill, during high school, part-time. It shouldn't be forced upon them. Yeah. If I don't want to work when I'm in school, when I'm a high school student, because I want to work on my grades, then so be it. But who and where and why are they forcing kids to do an internship? Is it to learn work ethic? Is it so that they can learn about how to balance a budget?
Well, they don't know how to count.
What's the outcome? What's the outcome? I don't understand what the outcome is.
Yeah. Shoot, we had 4-H in school.
Yeah, we have 4-H here too. But I'm just kind of confused on the whole thing because they also your parking spot is based also on your GPA.
Really?
Hell, Yeah, and when I went to school, you just bought your sticker, you put your permit on your windshield, and you parked wherever you wanted. Now, if you want a really bad parking spot where you have to walk 5 miles, then you better have a D average. But they don't even give letter grades anymore. Everything's a 1, 2, or 3. And then if you have like a 3 or a 2 or something, then you can't leave the campus for lunch. You have to stay. It's like I don't know. I think
we could leave during lunch.
Do what?
We could never leave during lunch, but I was in a work program, so like my junior and senior year, I only went a couple hours and then I left for work.
Yeah, I was too, but like we're allowed.
But I couldn't leave at lunch.
We're allowed to leave for our lunch hour and for assemblies if we don't want to attend them. So, I mean, you got to be back by the time it ended, or the bell rang. But
don't go to McDonald's when they mix up an order.
Yeah. Well, I usually went home for lunch anyway because I didn't like the school food.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Everything's shifted, and I think everything's out of control. I think the education system is flawed right now. I think it needs to. I think what they need to do is do what they did to us back in the day. They should show the paddle and be like, "I'm not afraid to use this. I will do an assembly and use you as a prime example." Hell, I remember when teachers used to twist the ears of kids and walk them to the principal's office.
Yeah. You can't touch
Don't they
a
have
kid
more
now.
counseling now in the schools now and stuff like that? Or,
Yeah, because they're so
Do what?
sensitive.
Do what?
huh? Don't they have
Do
more
what?
counselors now in the schools now?
Well, when I worked at one of the charter schools in the behavioral health department, man, those kids were bad. One of them pushed a pregnant woman, one of the pregnant teachers, down a flight of stairs. These girls, they fight. Like, we're not talking about just like some cat fight. We're talking, they're taking off their eyelashes, taking off their shoes, pulling out weaves. I mean, they fight.
Weaves everywhere.
Yes. I just.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, these kids now, man, I mean, it's weird because you got one set of kids that they're weird and they don't do anything. Then you got these other kids that they're so wilding out that they're shooting fireworks at fucking cop cars.
Yeah, they do whatever they want, but they're in groups.
Yeah.
They're in groups and they
when
can't
they're in
get
groups. Yeah, when they're in groups and they're, and that's what they're doing. They lowered the thing from mob action from 3 to 2. And it's like, I've seen this just recently when I was down there cruising Limburg on that big cruise. And I seen these kids running and I didn't know what the fuck was going on because I'm focused on driving down the road as we're car cruising. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here? And I could hear people screaming and all this. And I didn't hear any gunshots. So, I mean, fucking keep rolling, right? And, yeah, man. And then the videos come out, and it's because all the parents were watching the cars cruise and all these kids got together and then they yell and scream at the top of their lungs and take off running and the cops didn't know what to fucking do.
Right.
So.
And you got all this going on with the cruise.
Oh, it was a fucking mess, man. It was a fucking mess.
But talking about counselors and stuff, I have a relative that is a guidance counselor in high school out at Wentzville. And it was her turn, like in lunch break, you check the bathrooms to make sure nobody's in there smoking or whatever, or get to class, whatever. And this girl, I think she was like 16, maybe 17, and she punched my relative and gave her a black eye, and it was a big ordeal. And they got a hold of the girl's parents, and they said, she's a problem. We don't know what to do. Press charges. And so they pressed charges. The parents said, we can't control her. But she sat there and punched her.
Wow.
I mean, she got hurt, over the whole deal. And I'm like, are you going to go back to school? You know what I mean? But they got advocates and everybody in there. And it was all over, hey, you got to go back to class, put out the cigarette. That's all it was over. And she punched her.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. They, like, even in healthcare, we have the same issue. where the residents can abuse us and physically by punching, whatever. And we can't do anything about it. It's the same thing in the school system. We used to be able to do takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that anymore.
You can't restrain
Like,
nobody
we
where you
were-
put their arms on their chest and cross them.
Yeah, we can't do that, but it was the other way. But when I was at the school, we had a specialized intervention for when a student would get too out of control or started to build. You know, we try to get them back to baseline, but if they were above it and there was just no calming them down, then we would put them in a break room to kind of just sit there, chill, whatever. If that just made them build even more, then that's when we would start turning on the camera and monitoring them. And if they were still unruly, we'd call their guardian. But then that's when they got physical with us. We were taught how to safely, mind you, safely hold them down. And you couldn't hold them down for long. It was only like for 2 minutes at a time, just so that they could calm their bodies down. Because some of them are just so worked up by their anxiety, and their body is so worked up. And sometimes they don't even know that they're throwing punches.
Just
Mostly
go
they do.
set on them. That's not
But-
hurting them. You're not punching them and physically hurting them. Just go set on them.
You can't, because what if it's a obese person? And then you crush some bones by sitting on
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they've
Yeah,
got,
So,
there's all kinds of, there's all kinds of new shit. Like, you can't do this and you can't do this. And yeah, I mean, is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but what it is we got to get right back into music. You're listening to 96.1 Styling. We'll be right back at the top of the hour.